our game of the week. We finally have an electric Sunday night football game. We have the Miami Dolphins going on the road to Philadelphia on Sunday Night Football. Philadelphia coming off a loss versus the New York Jets, going home, looking to bounce back. However, doesn't get any easier because you're 2-point favorites at home versus the Dolphins, but you're going up against Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Raheem Mostert, and Mike McDaniels in that new version of kind of that greatest show on turf, where Tyreek Hill is making a push for the MVP this year, wants to be the first, I believe he'd be the first wide receiver to win it. Mm-hmm. And then he also broke the record recently for most games with 150 receiving yards and a touchdown in this game. Eagles kind of reeling now, haven't really been able to put teams away. What are your overall thoughts on this?
This is a tough game to pick because I feel like defensively, Eagles have the edge. And I do think that they can. I think I would be more concerned for Tua in this game, but if they, the problem I have is that the Eagles, I think, have a more complete team than the Dolphins do. However, the Dolphins have so much firepower. It doesn't just have to be Tyreek Hill. It could also be a Raheem Mostert run. It could be a Jalen Waddle slant route that turns into a score. It could even be someone like a Braxton Berrios making plays. So there's so many different ways that the Dolphins can score and score quickly on you that it's hard for me to pick the Eagles, especially I know it's the Jets defense and I know the Jets have been very good, but my problem with Jalen Hurts right now is how many turnovers he's thrown. 7 interceptions. He's right up there with the Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes, even with 7 interceptions currently, which is at the top of the league for most interceptions. So that's my concern there, especially because it's starting to feel like there might be a small bit of a hangover there. So in that case, I will take the Dolphins in this game. I think that there's going to be a lot of firepower. Close game throughout. Finally, like a really, really good Sunday night football game.
Yeah.
So I will pick the Dolphins to win this game just because I'm a little concerned with Jalen Hurts at this point.
A little concerned with Jalen Hurts. Do you think just the fact that they went up against the Jets defense, don't you think Miami would be a better matchup in this game for like someone like AJ Brown, where we saw Stephon Diggs have an absolutely lights out game versus the Miami Dolphins when they were on the road, that they'd be able to take advantage of that?
Yeah, I think they can. I think it's going to be a high scoring game. I picture like a 38-35 level game, but I think even, Tua has played very well this year, but I still think that there's a lot of doubters. And I think he goes out there on Sunday Night Football, delivers some strikes. Tyreek Hill could have a 150-yard game again and really set pace for that 2,000-yard season.
Yeah, this game is tough for me. My gut reaction says Philadelphia should win this game because you're at home. You have the better defense in this game, and then you have the firepower to match up with the Miami Dolphins, which most teams don't. And the Dolphins have beat up on some bad teams the past few games. They played the Giants. They played the Carolina Panthers. I believe their last 2 games was against the Giants and the Panthers. So it's been some pretty easy competition for the Miami Dolphins. And then they went on the road versus the Buffalo Bills, had a tough game there. So I think this game will be closer than a lot of people think. And I think the Eagles, like, you have a hard time getting up versus Zach Wilson, where Nick Sirianni is going to try and reinstall some of that dog with this Eagles team. And I think just being at home on Sunday Night Football, I wasn't too impressed with the Dolphins' performance on the road versus the New England Patriots. So this is a team I still need to see them rise to the occasion on one of the biggest stages in football when everyone's watching. Carrie Underwood has been waiting all week, all day for a Sunday night, which is very true. And I think the Eagles are a team that's going to be very good off of a loss. I have a hard time seeing them drop 2 games in a row, which is why I'm going to have to go with Philadelphia in this game, because you can't start falling behind in your division, especially when the Dallas Cowboys fans and your haters are waiting for you to take a step back. And I think with what I saw versus Buffalo when the Dolphins played them, I think AJ Brown, D Swift, and Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert are going to be able to get going in this game. And I think it's going to be a dogfight. I don't think Raheem Mostert's going to be running all over them. I think Tyreek Hill, it's Tyreek Hill. There's not much you're going to be able to do to stop him, but I think you have to focus in on stopping everyone else in this offense, making Tua a little bit uncomfortable. And I just think Jalen Hurts is going to rise to the occasion and show us why he got the bag in this game. So I'm going to go with Philadelphia, because of AJ Brown and then being able to take advantage of a still an undermanned Miami Dolphins secondary.
Yeah, that's a fair assessment. I think it's weird because I do believe in the Dolphins, and I do think it's going to be a dogfight. But what you're saying is true. I think the Eagles have a better defense, and I think that they could give some trouble to Tua. So that was my big concern there. But in this game, primetime game, going to be a classic.
Yeah, and I think just my concern with Miami overall from my last point is you've just faced too many easy teams, and we've seen kind of some teams take a step back when they face like some better competition, especially a Philadelphia Eagles team coming off an emotional road game versus the Rams, where you really want to be able to put that team away in Sean McVay. And then you have go all the way to New York and then have to face the Jets. This is a home game. It's a tough place to win in Philadelphia. So I think it's going to be fireworks, but I'm going to go 35-34 Eagles.
Okay. I like that score.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, whoever has the ball last is probably going to win this game.
Yeah, I like that assessment. I think it's going to be It's going to be probably the best Sunday night game we've had so far.
Definitely. And I think it'll finally be that competitive Sunday night football we all want to see, where Chris Collinsworth is going, now here's a guy every 5 seconds.
Yeah, I hope so.
And then Mike Tirico, actually research the names before you start pronouncing them on Sunday Night Football. Let's get the Okerekes out of the way. Is it going to be Tyrese Hill or Tyreek Hill?
It's Bobby Okereke.